Hey everybody, it's Logan Albright here, and I'm doing Little Women. I got some West Cork Irish whiskey, single malt, 10 year. I had it in Georgia. It was really good. I finally found it in DC. I'm excited. For a long time, I didn't read Little Women, although I'd heard good things about it, because I assumed that it was a book for women. It's called Little Women. It's written by a woman, Louisa May Alcott. It stars 4 women as the principal characters. I thought, what could there be there for me here? What am I going to enjoy about this book? I shouldn't read it. Lately, there have been a lot of film adaptations of the book, and it's been in the news a lot, and some of the members of my family, my mother and my sister, are going to reread it, so I thought I'd join them and read along with them. And I was pleasantly surprised, I have to say. I was expecting a very chick flick style of book that really wouldn't have much for me, but I quite enjoyed it. But before I get to the story, let me go about the edition I bought. As always, I go for the Library of America edition if I can, if there is one available. Unfortunately, I read a lot of non-American authors, so there's no good there. But I've got quite a collection going on my shelf here of Library of America. So I wanted to add this one, and this one contains Little Women and the other 2 novels that she wrote, Little Men and Jo's Boys, which I have not read yet. Just read the first one. Now the story, there isn't that much of a plot. It's not very plot-driven. It's sort of a slice of life about these 4 women who are teenagers, Meg, Jo, Beth, and Amy. And it's their life in New England shortly after the Civil War and what goes on there as they grow up and they learn lessons and stuff. Doesn't sound super interesting, right? But the really strength of the book is in the characters. I was worried that this would be a tendency to make all the girls perfect little angels and have nothing wrong with them. But the author does a really good job of making them very well-rounded, 3-dimensional characters with lots of human frailties and human qualities, and you end up really caring about them and caring about what happens to them. And not just them, the other ancillary characters in the book as well. There's a love interest named Laurie, which is a girl's name, but is actually a boy, and you actually end up caring what happens to him as well. So I think they're really well drawn-out characters. The part of the book I didn't like is there's a tendency to moralize. The author was very strictly religious in a lot of ways and had belonged to sort of a strange religion, and she had a lot of kind of puritanical views. So there's a lot of moralizing in the book that I could have done without, but the characters are so well done, you actually do care what happens to them. And there is there's not an overarching plot, it's just them growing up, but there are little subplots that go on, and there's interesting things that happen. They travel to different parts of the country. One of them travels to Europe, and you see things there. There's love triangles. There's all kinds of stuff going on. So it actually kept me thoroughly entertained. It's in 2 parts. They were published separately, but they're usually collected together now. The whole thing is about 450 pages. Not too long of a slog to get through. I got through it pretty quickly, and I did find it quite entertaining. So if you are a man like me, a manly man, and you think, I'm not reading that Little Women book, that's only for girls, I encourage you to give it a shot, because it actually does have a lot of good writing in it, a lot of good characters in it, and it is something that has entered the culture as a very popular thing to make movies out of and to refer to. So you're missing out if you don't know a little bit of something about Little Women. And I assure you they're not as little as the title suggests. They're mostly of average size, and one of them is even described as tall. So you don't have to worry about that. So that's Little Women. That's my review. I've been Logan Albright. I hope you've enjoyed it. If so, please subscribe to my channel. Leave a comment, leave a like, leave a dislike if you want. And I will catch you next week with another book review. Have a good one. Oh, it's delicious. Ooh.